Cheers, they fall. He's looking at the World Division house. I belong there. I should be there. I don't have a title. I made it to the end of Battle Bowl. My story. I should have been there. I should be there. I RP every week. Man, no, Mikey said it just doesn't depend on the wins. My story. What about my role plays? It's not all about wins and losses. No, I belong there. That's not fair. And as he stands there bleeding, trying to hold his fucking guts and getting blood all on the sidewalk, you know who comes along? His buddy Rail, Roman Reigns, who has a key to the World Division house, who has his own company card to the World Division house. And you know, being the good buddy that Rail is, he helps him up. He helps to actually pull out the little sticks from the fucking fence and splinters. He says, Dashy, it's gonna be okay. It's alright. You know you belong there. I know I'm there. Sin knows he belongs there, and he helps him out. He helps him out. He rips out the little things, and all little Dashy's intestines are all, he's bleeding. He needs CPR. He needs bandages. He needs all type of medical help. Why? Because he lost so fucking much in such a short period of time. But Rail is a true friend. Rail helped him up. And what did Rail do now that they're having this feud? Rail spears the fuck out of him and picks him up and slams him back onto the white picket fence. So now you're feuding with your boy, which is kind of a staged feud because we all saw that match in Denim, and me and Hulk had a talk and said, you know, that match looks just a little staged. I mean, there were times when we know it should have been over. And Hulk said he listened to it so hard he even heard them coaching each other. But back to the story. Dashing is once again impaled on the white picket fence. He's nowhere near the World Division. And the funny thing about what happened in the fucking chat was the original reason the chat came about is because Rail had an issue with booking. And all of a sudden it turned to, I feel I should be in the World Division, says Dashie. And his boy Sinex didn't even agree with him on that. Sinex said, no, he don't know. I don't think he really belongs in there. No. I don't know what he's smoking, but no. So right now, Dashie, Seth Rollins, is bloody on the picket fence. Now, let's really look at some of the shit. Like, I noticed some of the RPs, and I'll admit, I told him, I don't think he's ready. He's proven he's not ready for the World Division. And I admit I lost my fucking temper in there, but like Hawk said, even though I snapped off, I still had the facts. And if any admin had disagreed with me, I'm only one admin. If the facts that I brought to the table proving why Dashie should not be in the World Division weren't credible, I'm sure one or at least two of the admins would have said something.
True.
But no one said anything. But see, Hawk and Animals were like, okay, apparently he missed this part. He RPs every week. That's his thing. I RP every week. There are people who RP every week that should be further along than what they were, and blah 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 blah. Okay, you've been putting in RPs every week, but it's just not till now that Animal says, Dashing, you have my attention. And you've been Seth Rollins' whole entire game cycle, and you don't get any admin's attention until after Center Stage, where you start doing this storyline about Seth Rollins sitting in a room, dark room, healing, talking to himself about, yeah, I'm going to change, and, oh, they don't know what's coming next, and where can they get a load of me, sort of thing. And now it's like, Animal says, now you have my attention, Dashing. So apparently, you weren't getting anyone's attention, except for the losses. You got through a bone in King of Hell. So like that was your bone. You were doing great until Battle Bowl, and even then you were still doing great, but you just really just couldn't bring it. And the final blow was Edge, Flood, and Flood ain't doing that great with Edge.
Sure.
Flood shotgun blast you to the fucking sidewalk. And Rail didn't make it any better at Venom. He choke slammed you back onto the picket fence after he helped you up. So, and let's really look at it. Let's look at it from the other perspective. Synex. I want to use Synex as an example.
Okay.
Synex got Bray.
Okay.
His beginning with Bray was kind of shaky.
All right.
And before I go, I want to use Rail as the circumference. Rail is the circle center point between Dashing and Synex.
All right.
Synex and Dashing are kind of like yin and yang.
Okay.
You've got one guy who's got an excellent story, but his dubs don't match up to it.
All right.
And with Synex, you have a guy who has the dubs, but his story's not captivating anybody.
All right.
It's not really grabbing anyone. He didn't make Bray Wyatt relevant till he started feuding with Rail. So at this point in time, Rail is the circumference. He's the center. So it's like Dashing needs someone like Rail to probably stay relevant, because Rail has done a fuck of a job establishing Roman Reigns. Like, literally.
Uh-huh.
He is one of the few people I know that can do a losing storyline and still make it great, like the guy's winning. I've done that with Orton in 2010. I had a losing streak. I turned Orton into an alcoholic, the whole fucking nine, yada, 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 blah, blah.
Pretty much.
The whole Men of God thing, I like the way Rail twisted it, because at the particular time, Ambrose and Rollins were both on a roll. Roman Reigns, Joseph, was on a losing streak. He couldn't buy a fucking dub if it was a hook on Friday night on payday. And it's like, dear God, why hast thou forsaken me? My brothers Rollins, my brothers Ambrose, they, God, I'm doing work just like them. I'm doing your work. I'm spreading your message. Father, why am I not chosen to win, to rise above like the others? And you felt that shit. You feel bad for him. I remember watching some of Rail's matches like, come on, Rail, you can do it. You can do it. And he lost. It's like, oh, fuck. But you turn in every week to watch Warzone to see him. Like, come on, Rail, you can do it this week. Come on. And then next week, he's sad. He's somewhere in a church. The wind is blowing. He's not crying tears. He's kneeling. He's upset. He's angry. Father, why hast thou forsaken me? Have I not been your devoted servant? Father, open your clouds and look down upon me and answer. He never got an answer. And it works so well because here comes Sin with Bray Wyatt. And all of a sudden, it's like fucking magic, because it turns into this epic Dragon Ball Z like fight in an abandoned church, and it's like, oh shit, this could be the perfect mix. It was a beautiful feud. It was one of the most feuds that stood out this year, and they worked well together. So now you have, like I said, you have someone like Synex who had no story, but he had the dubs, and he had little feuds here and there that just didn't really pop off because they kind of ended, like, with controversy. There's a whole thing, he faced SOA, he beat Orton, he beat Rock, he beat Cody, he feels like, I should be in the World Division, as far as I get is the U.S., blah, 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 blah. Mind you, we're still on one show. So he's really not doing anything bad, man, as it turning flips over until that epic-ass church RP with him and Rail. So now, I look at Adrenaline, and I think I've said this to a few people, but I'll make it public. when it comes to adrenaline, there are certain guys, or as well as Warzone, I can look at certain guys that don't have the belt and they can still be considered hot. Because at the end of the day, it's not the belt that makes the man, it's the man that makes the belt. And that theory has been proven because there have been plenty of times, like I said, the hardcore belt has been more important and relevant than the world title. There's been a time when the IC belt has been more important and the feud surrounding that, or period, has been more funny or important. There have been times where the IC champ or the IC division has put the world division to fucking shame. And it's like, how the fuck did that happen? There are some guys that you just know are going to be born as champ. If you ask me right now, anybody in the fucking league, do I see them as champ? And I can give you a straight answer right now without even fucking thought. Or whether they deserve to be world champion, or will they be the kings of fucking mid-card. Any person right now, Dashing, if he got the role that he was on again before Battle Bowl, he probably would be in the world division again. But the fact that now that we know that most of these matches he's doing with Rail is kind of staged, that kind of hurts his credibility. It really don't hurt Rail, because Rail is already established. He's already in the world division. He's hot whether he has the belt or not. But then, jumping on Rail, he gave up his number one contendership. I heard about that. He gave up his number one contendership to Austin at the pay-per-view. But then when a new number one contenders match was made, he was kind of salty, like, yo, why was I not in that number one contenders match? And the admin's booking thing, they try to eliminate double booking as much as possible. You've already got this great feud going with Seth Rollins. And more than likely, he's going to probably pick up more dubs. So why hold the spotlight twice? Like, if you're busy doing this feud with Seth Rollins, put all your guns into that. Let some other people over here get some shine. And more than likely, people are going to be paying attention and taking notes. So once this feud is over with Seth Rollins, hey, how many dubs did he get out that series? Oh, he pretty much dusted Dashing's ass. Okay, well, we need another number one contender now that feud is over. Roman Reigns' name should be the first one at your mouth because you watched him make Seth Rollins his bitch. Even if the match was staged at Venom, the clear winner was still Roman Reigns. Now, the feud's not over, but what we're looking at is the match was staged. There was so many fucking spots. And like I said, Hulk said he heard people, heard the whisper. That's like, okay, whether it's staged or not, the winner was still Roman Reigns. So the admins are tallying up how this feud's unfolding. And Roman Reigns so far has come out on top. So whenever they decide that this is over, you keep track of those wins. And so when it's time for another number one contenders match, Roman Reigns, he's been whooping Dashing's ass for the last couple weeks. So that's the first name you should toss in there. And whoever else is doing hot. And another misconception is not every number one contenders match is going to be a one-on-one. Sometimes there are three-ways. Sometimes there are four-ways. And before that falling out in the chat where he felt like, I deserve to be in the world. I RP every week. I'm not like some people that just RP only when they win and fucking show up. Okay. Just like Animal says sometimes, hey, it's overkill. You ever think about quantity or quality over quantity? Not every week does someone want to see you come in for it and talk about, how great you are. I saw that fucking RP that he did with Corey Graves, sucking Corey Graves' dick. We know Graves is great. Graves has fucking proven it. It should be us. And, I liked you since the first day I seen you. It should be us. I look at you and I see me. Bullshit. I look at Graves, I see a winner. I look at Rollins, I see a fucking loser. You can't take L's. Man, don't fuck. No. I see Graves, I mean business. I'm going in to handle shit. I see Graves, I see someone who walked into a pay-per-view with one belt and walked out with two. I see Graves. I see a fucker who kicked out a curb stomp on the fucking ladder and dethroned the champ. I see Graves who got tag belts. I see Graves. He's got everything but the world fucking title to become a Grand Slam. To do it quicker than Incog did in fucking 14 with Scott Hall. I don't look at Graves. I don't see shit remotely close to Seth Rollins. I don't. So when I read that RP, I had to giggle and laugh like, is this motherfucker serious? It should be us one-on-one for the title, blah, 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 blah. And everyone thinks it's punishment when you wind up in a four-way or a three-way, be it a contenders match or a four-title match. That's not punishment. The only person that got punished was Ice for doing that ignorant shit. We told Ice, it was the unspoken rule. Anybody ever had a title defense and they got themselves purposely DQ'd, your punishment will be the next 3 people in line for a title shot.
Now let me add a little something to that. Because this year, there's something involved in the Divas where there's only one-on-one. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I'll bring this up. Where Paige, as Divas champion, intentionally got herself disqualified against Miley Cyrus to retain the championship. And because, that whole no disqualification thing doesn't apply to Paige because there's only one-on-ones this year, Paige basically got away with the one-on-one no DQ match. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, and that's why the whole male representation match concept was made.
Yep.
But going back to more relevant shit. That's the only time a multi-man match was used as punishment. Everything else is pretty much been like, it's a hard admin decision because, once again, it goes back to the wild card, the ace in the hole, the jobber, and the filler. Now, if you've got someone who isn't regularly hot and all of a sudden they get on a hot streak, you kind of want to give them a chance because you don't know how long this is going to fucking last. So let's take a four-way. Let's just say you've got guy A over here who RPs every fucking week, and of his 4 matches in a month, he might win 1.
All right.
But he RPs every week. I RP every week. I'm here. I RP, but you're not getting the dubs. You got 1. You got another guy. He RPs twice a month, and he's won 2 matches. Then the last guy you have here RPs once a month, but he won all 4 of his matches for that month. Now, he made an interesting RP for the one that he did, but he won all 4 of his matches. So now the hard choice is, do you give it to the guy who RPs every week but can't get a win, or 1 win out the month? Do you make the guy number 1 contender who RPs twice a month and won half his matches? Or do you give it to the guy who dropped 1 great-ass RP a month and won all 4 of his matches for the month? Those are the kind of decisions that the admins get plagued with because then it's like, who do you give it to? Who do you give it to? Or do you be like, okay, they all standing out respectively in one way, shape, or form or another. So you got a guy here, RPs every week. You got this guy who won half his matches. You got this guy who won all his matches. So the tough decision is you put all 3 of them in the fucking match, and the better man wins. That's not punishment. You got 3 guys who are standing out for different fucking reasons and putting in effort, so you give them all a fucking shot. And even if they don't fucking win, there are some guys that are just grateful to be considered to be in a number 1 contenders match.
There are some.
Dashing feels like, oh, I'm above the IC. Oh, I was U.S. champ. But mind you, he was U.S. champ when we still had 1 show. Again, the tiers were World, IC, U.S. You had skipped the IC because you're on such a hot roll. And you were still in the world until after center stage when Edge shotgun blast your ass to the fucking sidewalk. If you had won that match, you'd been there. And then Flood started falling off. Now, Flood won't drop out the World Division, sad to fucking say, because Edge is such an established character. So he would have to go on twice the losing streak that Dashing went on in order for Edge to drop out that division. So now you fast forward to the whole chat where it's like, oh, I feel I deserve blah, 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 blah. Mind you, I had made a card for Affliction a week before this chat even went down before I blew up.
All right.
And I had a number one contenders match because the title was supposed to be defended in a best of 5 match between Ambrose and Punk. So I had already had a number one contenders match on deck. Now, again, wild card, ace in the hole, jobber, filler.
Okay.
So let's look at the participants I had in this match.
All right.
Mind you, Hulk saw the date. I had Hulk read the date to Real and Dashing the next day after I snapped off. Hulk confirmed. He even put a picture of the match card on Twitter showing the date and the time and when I created it. This was created June 22nd. The beef and the argument went down on the 28th. So you got a whole week. 6 days. 6 days. So, which means for me to put you in a number one contenders match for the title, that had to mean I had to have been reading your shit. I had to have been seeing you struggle and like, hey, his story's great. His dubs ain't there, but his story's great. I wonder if I give him a shot, will he bring it home? Will he bring credibility back to Seth Rollins? Can he hold his head up high? Can he take those fence pegs out his impaled ass? Can he? But no, this goes back to another thing the admins have with the members not having patience and waiting and seeing what we do. Everything is this whole me, I need to see, this whole hedonistic attitude. I need now, me, now. So, the number one contender match said, 4-way, number one contender, World Heavyweight title contender. Number 1, Corey Graves, the wild card.
All right.
Number 2, Chris Jericho, the ace in the hole.
Ah.
Jericho has been slowly sneaking up the ranks.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that may drop a RP once or twice a month, but gets those dubs. Edge, jobber. He lost and had been losing for a while. And most recently, he lost at Venom to Daniel Bryan in the brand war. Filler had no business being in a match whatsoever. Seth Rollins. This is a bone being thrown. I'm looking out the window from my room. I can see little Seth Rollins impaled on the fence, bleeding everywhere, trying, struggling. It's like watching a roach on his back. His legs. I can feel it. He's choking on his own blood. Impaled by the white picket fence. Why? Because at Venom, his boy slammed him on it and got the 1, 2, 3 up. And Real walks into the house. I got my key. Bye, Real. Bye, Real. Help me, Real. Help me up. No. I'm the big dog on adrenaline, and I ain't even got the belt. I can't help you. That means I fuck up my career because I got the Rail's ass a long time ago. Rail should have been world champion a long time ago when he was JBL, long before he got the chance with JBL. Because there was a time when Rail didn't say shit and he was carrying Dashing's bag. And when Dashing got suspended, it was a perfect opportunity for him with JBL to run and get it. And as another point that Animal brought up to me the other day, a lot of these guys got handed stuff. A lot of these guys didn't grind it out like the rest of us from NGW. Like, none of us started with these big-time name guys, and if we did, we got them when they were shitty. Like, Rail, in my opinion, Rail grinded and paid dues. He started off as fucking Brodus Clay. He grinded with Brodus fucking Clay and managed to win tag titles and managed to win the TV title. So when he got JBL, I was excited because it was like, ooh, what can he do with him? And he did excellent with JBL. Excellent, superb. Now, when Dashing got suspended from the league, it was like, yo, it's the perfect time for this motherfucker to run and shine. Run. And he kind of didn't because of the loyalty to Dashing. It's like, I got in his ass, but I was pissed. I told him I was disappointed and pissed at him. So when he got Roman Reigns, I expected nothing but greatness. And he's actually kind of exceeded my expectations. Because when you get to the point where you can take a guy and make him cool without even having the belt, that's a big thing to me. Because I'm from old school, and it's like not many people have the power to pull that off. There are some guys that need the belt to be interesting and relevant for you to pay attention to. There are some guys that need the belt to make their guy cool. And then there are some guys, even if they get the belt, well, there's just no fucking helping them because, shit, you got the belt and you still ain't shit. No one's still not paying attention to you. So, you know, viewing that and for Half Halt to expose what was going on, like, yo, I had him in mind for a number one contendership, and it was like, yo, that's still not good enough. Well, why does it have to be a multi-man? Because you think you're the only one that earns this shit, and you think it revolves around fucking you? So I'm supposed to give you a one-on-one title shot? Fuck what the fuck that Corey Graves has done, because he's actually earned it. And then you have to take into consideration Flood. Flood didn't get pinned. I'll give him that. He didn't get pinned. But what killed you was Venom. You let fucking Daniel Bryan take that ass out. So once that happened, fuck Flood. Shit. Let's help build Flood back up. Let's throw him in this whole fucking feud war thing and maybe help him get some fucking momentum around him again, and then the next time we're looking for some world contender shot, we can throw that to Flood. But shit got altered. A number one contendership match wasn't good enough for Dashing. Hawk and Animals, watching from the same window I was, watching little Dashing, impaled by the fence, kicking his little arms and legs, crying and choking on his blood. I put in work every day. Every show IRP. There goes Animals. There goes Hawk. Out the front door. Come on, Dashing. Here, buddy. Let me pull those wood steaks out of you. There goes his little intestines on the sidewalk. I'll tell you what. We'll go ahead and we'll put you in a title shot. Don't worry about that. You don't have to be in a contender shot. We'll give you an instant title shot at Affliction. There's Animals and Hawk, patching little Dashing up, trying to perform surgery and save his ass. They're sewing him up, sewing his little wound. Nighthawk's dabbing his little tears away. Animals is just like cleaning up the sidewalk where you've been bleeding. At Affliction, buddy, you're going to be in a world title match, okay? I did my story. And it's like, really? Really? Y'all all fucking agree that he didn't earn the fucking shit, and you're going to give it to him. And I told him, when I said the contendership thing, if you lose that, I don't want to hear fucking shit. So now Animals is like, yo, if he don't walk out with the title, he's IC all day. For real. If he don't walk out with that fucking title, he's going to be in the IC division. And unless someone decides to be nice and actually feud with him and give him a title shot, he'll be in the IC division for the rest of fucking 15. Unless his ass gets in Battle Bowl in 16 and shoots to the top and don't make the same mistake. But really?